Bob Circosta, American businessman and television's first ever home shopping host. Over the past 43 years, Bob Circosta has logged over 25,000 hours of selling on TV. He has made more than 75,000 product presentations and sold well over $6 billion in merchandise, humbly earning him the nickname TV's billion-dollar man. It all started in 1977 when Bob was working as a talk show host at a small Clearwater AM radio station. Station owner Bud Paxson went to collect an advertising bill from an appliance company the station had been promoting for 13 weeks. Instead of money, he gave Paxson a case of 112 avocado green can openers. Take it or leave it. He reluctantly accepted the deal and brought them back to the station. Bob was given the can openers and told to sell them on air, which he did. Circosta started to sell more products, and this became the International Suncoast Bargainers Club, which grew into the nationwide cable TV phenomenon, Home Shopping Network, HSN. Bob was the very first recipient of the HSN Legend Award.
He's the reason we're all here.
And he is still very active with vendors, on-air appearances both for HSN and TSC Canada. And he still teaches how to sell on air.
We talked about relationship and friendship, and we also touched miracles of technology. So today I have a little miracle of technology, or hope we can do that, because we have a little surprise for you, and we would like to welcome a special guest for you. And
oh, really? It. Wow. Oh, great. Who?
Oh, you don't know him? Yes, of course. He has written his name behind it, Bud Margolis. You must know him.
Oh, Bud Margolis?
I'm here. How are you?
Bud, how are you, my friend?
We're in lockdown in London. It's getting chillier now, but I've been listening, and it's been absolutely fascinating. Every time I do listen to you, I learn more things, and you never stop being passionate and completely honest. And I have a few moments here. I just wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Oh, sure.
My first question is, because we're learning about the history of TV shopping, you had the privilege of meeting Joe Siegel, who passed away recently,
Yes.
who was the founder of QVC, but he came to talk to you before he did that. Can you tell us, in a short form version, what happened?
Well, we went on the air nationwide July 1, 1985. The previous fall, before QVC came on the air, they came on the air in 1986. Before QVC came on, Joe came down to Florida to find out what this thing called home shopping was all about. And of course, Joe was an entrepreneur extraordinaire from the beginning in many different businesses, but he wanted to know what this home shopping business was all about. And what he really wanted to know was, how can I make it better? How can I make it better? And he did. And the way you see home shopping nowadays, that structure is because of Joe Siegel. There's no question about it. And what I'm talking about is when we were on the air, we never had item numbers on the air. Never. When that item left the screen, you could no longer order it. Joe changed that. Okay. He changed shipping. We never had the shipping and handling charge on the screen. Joe changed that. All right. He made it better for the consumer. And I was honored to speak at his memorial this past October. And just a wonderful, wonderful man. Just a wonderful. But he really changed the industry.
Yes, as Bud Paxson did, as you did.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Well,
so I was pleased that I was pleased that you included him in this discussion, because these are the big names, the legends of our industry. And what I needed to know from you is, now that the technology is everywhere, the iPhone is better than cameras in studios even. we can broadcast, and we have influencers now. And in China, it's multi huge business. What would your advice be to this new format of shopping, and what can TV shopping do to be relevant in the future?
Well, I think we have to, it's almost like a baseball player. And I know you're a baseball fan, but it's like a baseball player. If they get in a slump, what are they told? They're told, go back to the basics. Go back to the basics. What's the stance? What's the grip? Back to the basics. And so I hope that none of us ever forget the basics. And that is that we're not really there to sell anything. What we're there to do is to help the viewer, via the product do such and such. And I think we've got to keep that in mind. And you're right, I love the technology. I mean, you're in London, I'm in Florida, Julian is in Germany, right? But we're all together. We're all together. So I see nothing but blue sky for the teleshopping industry for the future. Because now, like I could be sitting here in Florida and I could be on the air in Germany with the water filter, or anywhere else, which is just great. But don't forget the basics. Don't forget that viewer. Don't forget, I've identified the different P's over the years when it comes to success on the air. They added it up one time, and I've done I think somebody said over 75,000 separate product presentations. And I've seen even more than that. And I've always looked at what makes one successful and one not. And it comes down to, a few things. You got to have the right product, obviously, but you have to have the right price, and you have to have the right presentation. You can have a great presentation, but the wrong product, it's not going to go anywhere. You can have a great product, wrong price, great presentation, not going to go anywhere. So you've got to keep all these things that are the basics. They're the basics. You've got to keep them in play. But Bud, I love the future. I love the future. I think this is great. And anytime I can see you, my friend, is always a pleasure. What a great surprise to see you. I've got to tell everybody watching right now, Bud and I have known each other, it's got to be 30, 40 years, something like that. Bud Margolis is a visionary, true visionary in this industry. He has had his finger on the pulse of this industry from the get-go, from the beginning, and continues, because we all know this industry is changing all the time. And Bud has noticed those changes, knows how to almost, the guy's uncanny sometimes. He predicts the future in so many, my phone's ringing already. I'm making the phone ring here. But anyhow, but he's almost uncanny in what you predict. I want to take you to Las Vegas one time,
Bob, I wanted to thank you for sharing all of this with the ERA, and I want you to take good care of yourself. And I hope 10 years from now, you're still presenting on TV.
Oh, thanks, Bud. Always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, guys. It was very good words to conclude this. I'm not only looking forward to taking you guys to Las Vegas, I'm looking also forward to seeing you guys finally next summer in Amsterdam, when our next venue will take place. I mean, we've been discussing this now for 50 months or even longer to bring you to Holland. And then right afterwards, 3 months, we can meet again in Las Vegas. So Bob, this was great. Very enlightening, very interesting, inspiring for me, as it is hopefully for the whole audience. And so thank you very much. My regards to Florida. We adjourn the day here. And you still have some hours to go. Miracle of technology.
Right. Well, Julian, let me just thank you and your team, Ianella, and the whole team there in putting this together. And I thank you ever so much for inviting me. And I look forward to seeing you next year. And then we'll follow up in Vegas after that. So look forward to it. And I wish all the businesses out there, all the companies out there, all the success in the world. Thank you, Julian, very, very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.